Hi, everybody. Well, the election's over, and we didn't get the result we wanted, unfortunately. But so difficult to really kind of comprehend what went down yesterday because the polls were really indicating tight, races all the way around, and actually they really were. But when you look at just the way things went, um, they all kind of skewed one way instead of just going. You would figure that many of these, battleground states would have, at least gone one or the other. Especially here in PA, I really thought that we really had a chance with Kamala Harris here. But they really came out in full force this time, and I think a lot of the um, I want to say a lot of the issue, a lot of the issues that a lot of the issues were really around uh, economics. Really, I mean, when you think about inflation, they're talking about inflation and a lot of things about wages and you know cost of living, housing prices, all that stuff. Um, and all this stuff really kind of spans back to pre-pandemic years. But the problem is when you have the media that's controlled by corporate interests, big corporations. Uh, CNN's controlled by some big time right winger. You know, um, they're not going to talk about all this stuff. Really, you're looking at you have a you have all these tariffs that Trump's talking about. He put them in place years ago. He tried to put a tariff. I think it was like a soybeans, and some other stuff. And he put Midwestern farmers out of business. He almost got them out of business. And if you recall, he had to do some sort of bailout for them because he literally was going to put these all of these farmers out of business because of the tariffs. And because China was kicking our ass. Uh, did the same thing with lumber, with Canada. And as soon as he slapped these tariffs on the lumber with Canada, if you recall, back in 2017, housing and construction costs went way up, and they never went back down after that. So we're watching all these, homes now skyrocketed in price. It's nearly impossible for people to buy homes now. Everybody's renting. Rental costs have gone up. It's impossible for people to buy affordable housing around the country, and that's what people are complaining about. And so when you're looking at this stuff, he's also partially at fault, but no one's going to call him out on that. They're not going. They didn't go back onto his record. Everyone has selective amnesia. They're always going back. Biden, 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 Biden. They're talking about the pandemic. Right after the pandemic, they talked about the free money and this and that, and you know nothing, absolutely nothing. They never held Trump to account on anything that he did during his administration. What about the immigration uh, policy that he had? He had kids separated at the border. They had them in camps, in cages. What was he doing? They had influx of people then. What about the border wall? He was talking about the border wall. He was diverting money from veterans programs and veterans hospitals to try to build 2 miles of wall. And what did he do? He was going to get Mexico to pay for the wall. Mexico told him, "Fuck you" on the wall. There was no wall. They weren't going to pay for the wall. No one was going to pay for the wall, you know. And what were they doing? The wall actually even toppled over with the wind, and then some people were actually climbing over the wall with a ladder, and they were actually digging underneath it. Stupid. Most people, when they come here, and they when they come here illegally, they come here, they overstay their visas. They come into the United States, and they overstay their visas, and they just stay here. That's the thing. That's the problem with that. Okay. As far as asylum seekers, they're coming in through legal ports of entry, and they're trying to get. That's part of the legal process of becoming a citizen. Really, that's one of the first steps. You come in, you're getting asylum, you're waiting to get your papers, you're trying to apply for, permanent resident status, basically. It takes a long time. In the meantime, they don't have enough courts, they don't have enough law enforcement agents down there, like Border Patrol agents. They tried to pass that border bill earlier this year. Trump called his toady in Congress, Mike Johnson. He killed the bill, right? Didn't do a goddamn thing. They killed the bill, and they kept on having the problems down there. But meanwhile, these are human beings. These aren't like, they keep talking about them like they're numbers or products. They're human beings that are trying to come here to get a better life. These are people that have been exploited in South America. They're trying to come here to experience the American dream, just like every one of our other ancestors did at one point. Could we improve our policy, our immigration policy? Yes, but we haven't done it in years, and there's no willingness to do it. And there's no willingness to even crack down on the companies that exploit the labor, the undocumented labor in this country. So, but they use that. The GOP uses that as a tool, basically, to pit different groups against each other. That's what they do. They'll say, hey, you're, you've got this illegal, that's coming in across the border, and they're taking your job away. What? What job are they taking away? Really? So I moved to another section of the house to continue my story here, and I just wanted to kind of continue here real quick in closing. So Trump has used a populist message, and he's did this from 2016 on. And he claims that he's the champion of the working class and the uneducated. I love the uneducated, he says, And the people gobble it right up. Okay? And you'll see we kind of fall into that trap because whenever you see people on TV, maybe they'll treat those folks in sort of a condescending manner. Maybe they are the deplorables or the garbage or whatever. I guess. I don't know. But hard to say. But they look at us as the elites, the political elites. We're not. But Trump, Stephen Miller, all of these clowns that are on his side are exploiting these little divisions in society to gain an advantage for the billionaire class. That's why Elon Musk is behind him. He's trying to get his little tax breaks and his deregulation going and get his little space program going. Get Trump to kiss his ass. That's why he's behind him. But that's where that's going. But so where do we go from here? Obviously they're probably going to have all of the levers of government. We're talking up and down the judicial system. Uh, it's looking like the Senate, quite possibly the House of Representatives, and you know, probably no checks and balances this time. There's not going to be any H.R. McMasters or John Kellys or anybody in that White House keeping him in line. I mean, that guy's going to be unhinged, unchecked, and very much reactionary. I mean, he could press the nuke button anytime. Could be Iran, could be Russia, who knows? Could be against us. You never know. The only thing I can say, I mean, everybody's sad. I'm just beside myself, and I see people on Facebook and all these little places, on thing, and just angered by the hubris. But we're not the ones that are crying, really. We're not the ones that are be charging the Capitol on January the 6th. We're taking our medicine. We're going to try to dissect this whole thing. We're going to try to figure things out. I think a lot of it has to do with class issues. So, socioeconomic problems. I think that's where it all stems from. If we can figure that out, pinpoint find where all the pain points are, win those people back, get the hearts and minds back of those folks, bring them back into the fold. They swing back and forth. There's a lot of independent voters out there. If we can get them back, we can win. But as far as right now, to withstand this onslaught for the next 4 years, we need to just stick together. Solidarity. Look out for each other. Be vigilant. Stay connected. Get involved in your communities. Go to your local meetings. Get involved in your local Democratic committees, or if you're in the Green Party, whatever it is, get involved. Do it. Please get more active, because we're going to need everybody all hands on deck here now, because our democracy, our country is in peril. So, but, keep your chin up high, and I'll see you next time. Take care.